it comes to rap, I can't, spit my own rhymes, but I can recite some Minaj, which people tell me is quite impressive. Pull up in the monster automobile gangster with a bad bitch that came from Sri Lanka. Yeah, I'm in the tanka, call it a Willy Wonka. You can be the king, but watch the queen conquer. Oh yes. That's my party trick. Let's talk about Project Power. Hey up guys! So today I want to talk about the new Netflix film Project Power, which is directed by Ariel, Schulman and Henry Joost. They are the duo that co-directed Paranormal Activity 3 and 4, as well as Nerve. Project Power is set in modern day New Orleans and is centered around a new recreational drug called Power, which when ingested by the user gives them 5 minutes of a random superpower. What that power actually is varies from person to person. It could be super speed, it could be super strength, bulletproof skin, fire, frost, camouflage, or if you're real unlucky, it could just kill you. Like there's a small group of people that when they take it, they just explode. So yeah, it's a bit of a gamble. The drug itself is massively illegal, but the streets and drug users of New Orleans are essentially being used as clinical trials. The company that manufactures the drug is called Telios, and as soon as they figure out the correct compound, they're going to mass produce it and distribute it globally. The three central characters of the story are a former ranger called the Major, or Art, who's played by Foxx, whose daughter was kidnapped by the Telios organization, a high school girl called Robin, played by Dominque Fishback, who sells the power pills on the side to make ends meet to help her sick diabetic mother. And then there's New Orleans detective Frank Shaver, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who wants to keep the streets of New Orleans safe by any means necessary. The majority of this film takes place over one night and sees how these three characters come together and take on Telios. I was really excited for Project Power. I thought the concept was pretty cool, taking a pill which gives you 5 minutes of superpowers. I've definitely not seen that before, so it is an original concept. However, I just wish they had done more with it, because the plot is very straightforward and predictable, so the unique concept is actually a bit wasted. But let's talk positives and negatives. So what's good about it? Well, the performances are mostly solid. The three leads are very serviceable. Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt are reliable as ever, but I wouldn't say this is either of theirs best work. This is my first time though seeing Dominque Fishback's work, and I did like her as Robin. She was very likable. Her character motivations I sympathize with, and she can also drop some freestyle rap just to any word you throw at her. That's a talent that I wish I had, but let's face it, I'm white as milk. The antagonist, however, I wasn't a fan of Rodrigo Santoro. He kind of reminded me of one of those magicians you hire at corporate events. Someone that's very theatrical, but doesn't quite fit in with the decorum. And then there's Amy Landecker as the big baddie. I don't think I heard her character name once in this film. She's listed as Gardner on IMDb, so let's just go with that. I really liked her in Transparent, but here she is horribly miscast. She's not intimidating, she has no presence, no conviction. I didn't even know that she was the main villain until the finale. That's how forgettable she is. The script wasn't doing her any favors. She's in the opening scene, but doesn't have any dialogue, so the script actually fails to establish that this is the main villain. And then when she shows up 35 minutes later, she barely has any dialogue there, so there's no agency with her character. We don't get to know her or her motivations, so why should the audience even care? So yeah, Shoddy Villains are a big negative for this film. I did appreciate the visual effects in this film, like when people start taking the pill and getting their superpowers, you see all sorts of cool shit, and it does look quite convincing. There's characters on fire or turning to frost. Plus, there were a lot of, okay moments in this film. There's one character whose superpower is camouflage, and he robs a bank and gets away with 2 bags of cash and then gets on a bus. Now I want to stress, his power is camouflage. It's not invisibility, so you can still see him when he moves because his body is adapting to the changing surroundings. So he's not invisible. However, when he gets on the bus, there's these 2 bags of floating cash, which none of the passengers on the bus even notice. And I'm like, okay. The pill only lasts for 5 minutes, so Joseph Gordon-Levitt and the camouflage guy must have taken their pills at the exact same time because their powers stopped working right at the exact same time. Okay. There's a scene where Foxx tails Robin in a supermarket, and for some reason, he decides to put on a pair of store reading glasses, not sunglasses, but reading glasses. And I'm like, is this to disguise himself? Is he going incognito? Is this to draw less attention to himself? Because if anything, it's just attracting more attention. And I'm just like, okay. In order to gain access to the villain's freighter headquarters, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character thinks the best course of action is a Clint Eastwood impression. Okay. There's also an action scene which is set inside this glass chamber, but all the action is actually taking place outside the chamber, so it's one of those creative decisions where I'm sure in discussion it sounded quite cool, but in execution it's kind of just, okay, interesting choice. So let's ask those three questions. Firstly, would I watch this again? It's not unwatchable, but I don't think it's particularly rewatchable, so I don't think I'll be watching this again, but never say never. Question number 2, do I recommend it for you guys? It's not one that I would say is a must-watch. However, there is some entertainment value to be had from it. But if you do watch it, don't expect too much from it. And question number 3, score out of 10. Project Power is a lot like Joost and Schulman's previous film, Nerve. Cool concept, but underwhelming. It has an original concept, but squanders it on a storyline which is very standard and we've seen done before. It's a very flashy film, but I just found it quite basic. So I'm going to give Project Power a score of 4 out of 10. But as always, guys, this is just one bloke's opinion. I want to hear from you guys. Have you seen Project Power? What did you guys think of it? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in that comment section down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. If you want to follow me on any social media, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, it's all in the video description down below. And for more movie and TV content just like this, don't forget to click subscribe. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Carefield, and I'll see you next time.